all this other stuff.
Right now, it's just so much. I guess it's all on polls because our we're gonna have like 15 new guys at least, 20 maybe,
Oh yeah.
17. So um, I like I said, I have to see where it goes. We got to get Payne. We got to hit in the draft. Um, like I said, we got to maybe find a frustrated number one wide receiver to pair with Justin. We just re-signed St. Brown for a very team-friendly deal, so I'm not really.
Yeah, I mean it's 1.2 for one
Yeah,
year, and he's a good blocker. As long
yeah.
as you're not going to throw him out
Next
there.
year, I'm guessing he's going to be like a special teams player.
Yeah, I mean as long as you're not throwing him out there as like, oh hey, he's going to be my number two wide receiver,
Yeah.
which
So
there's no way. But I mean, realistically, when it comes down to it, it comes down to this. So Chase Claypool's not working out. Um, I think Ryan
yeah,
Poles
what
thought
one target all game?
Yeah, I think Ryan Poles thought, like you thought, that when at the time of the trade we were heading in an upwards direction.
Yeah.
So that draft pick that we gave up to Ryan Poles, I'm sure he didn't think it was going to be the number 33 overall pick, or the number 34 overall pick, depending on how this next week goes. Um, if the Bears get the number one overall pick, though, I can tell you right now there's going to be a king's ransom for that number one overall pick because, like we talked about last week, what if Houston falls in love with, Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, one of those two guys? What if, Houston falls in love with them and they have the number two overall pick? They trade up. They give us the number two overall pick, and then next year's first, and maybe like a third or something, two thirds or whatever. Then we take that number two pick, and another team is like, oh man, I need to get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young before Oakland jumps or before New York
Well,
Jets
yeah,
jump.
one or two we're going to get a haul because, like you said, if these guys like the quarterbacks or not, nobody's going to sit around and wait and hope. Like they're going to be like, all right, I got to get to two. The Bears, they're going to be like, the Bears don't want a quarterback. We have to get to two. They're
And
not
that's what
going
I'm saying is that realistically, if you have the number one overall pick, you trade with Houston, one spot down, then you take that number two pick and you trade down again. You're just building. I really thought, and we talked about this before, I thought this was going to be a 3 or 4 year build. You're going to see some improvement next year, but I don't think they're going to be quote unquote contenders. I mean, they'll compete for the division, maybe for a wild card spot, but I don't think it's going to be like a quick 180 turnaround where,
to.
next year we're winning 11 games. I see 8 or 9 maybe, depending on what we do in the off season. But you can get so much in return for that draft positioning if teams fall in love with these quarterbacks. Plus, with Oakland's, they're definitely going to be trading Derek Carr this offseason. He'll probably end up in. I want to say he'll be a New York Jet next year.
Yeah, Jet. The
New
Colts.
Orleans Saint.
It's really yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. It depends. I'm guessing everyone's going to wait to see who's not going to get the quarterback, and then they'll all concede for him. But yeah, I guess the Jets right now look like the best option just because.
They're ready to win.
Yeah,
That
they're ready to
defense is
win,
a championship
and they
defense.
got too many wins to be in a running for a quarterback. So
Yep. And then they got Garrett Wilson, a great young wide receiver. They've got Elijah Moore, pretty good, solid option, number two.
Corey Davis is pretty
Um,
good too.
Bryce Hall when he comes back, or Brees Hall when he comes back, great running back. They're ready to win. So I think that's kind of a position he'd be okay with because honestly, I think Tom Brady ends up in Vegas next year. Um,
Vegas?
yeah,
Nah.
I think so. Josh
Oh
McDaniels,
yeah, I didn't even think I forgot about Josh McDaniels. Yeah, maybe.
yeah, I really think that Josh McDaniels Tom Brady connection is there. He's going to have Devontae Adams if Devontae
Waller.
Adams decides to stay. Waller,
Well, if Brady's
um,
coming, he'll stay.
Hunter Renfro. Who knows? Maybe they fuck around and re-sign Josh Jacobs, and then all of a sudden you have a squad with Tom Brady. Which honestly, I don't see how Tom Brady takes. I don't think Tom Brady at 46 years old is going to be leaps and bounds over what Derek Carr was this year. I think there's more wrong with the Raiders than just Derek Carr. Um,
I
but
just
I
button
think,
heads, like John, like you said, it is some chemistry. Josh McDaniels, he knows what Brady likes. Maybe he
yeah,
just hasn't got a feel what Carr likes to do. They're button heads.
all this is just it like I said, it's all everything that happens with every other team is going to directly affect the way the Bears approach this offseason.
Yeah.
So the Derek Carr thing is a thing to watch. The quarterback carousel and the free agency before the draft is something that the Bears are going to have to look out for because, if somebody like the Jets, because I don't think Detroit's going quarterback this year. They don't need to. I think Jared Goff's earned himself another season in Detroit.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree too.
but,
And he just makes
Vegas,
too much money to just be getting rid of.
yeah, with the free agency quarterbacks, I think Vegas, like I said, I think Brady goes to Vegas. I think Carr ends up with the Jets. I think Garoppolo probably replaces Brady in Tampa. So that leaves you with New Orleans, Indianapolis, that, those teams that really need quarterbacks because I don't think any of those top tier quarterback free agents are going to go to any one of those two destinations because they're both a mess. Indianapolis is a mess. New Orleans is a mess. Dennis Allen's not a good coach. That was a horrible replacement for Sean Payton down there. I don't think Sean Payton will go back to the Saints. It's a possibility, but he's got no quarterback. He wants to be able to come in with a quarterback, which is why I think it would be an interesting destination if for
Yeah, he played for us too, right?
yeah, he was a backup. I think he played for. Did he play for the '85 Bears? I think he was the backup for the '85 Bears.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was.
So, I mean, that would be awesome. I know he has good things to say about Justin Fields because, as I was talking about before, Justin Fields is what Sean Payton wanted Taysom Hill to become, and I mean, it's there, it's there. I have a factor cap about this, and we'll talk about it just about Ryan Poles in general, because there's been some rumblings that he has done his homework, which he wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't, on both Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. He's done some heavy scouting, things like that. I don't know if you've listened to ESPN radio recently, but there has been reports that they talked about whether or not he has the balls to trade Justin in the offseason because Justin's not his guy. And maybe maybe he falls in love himself with CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I don't think he's stupid enough, but
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll talk about the fact that it just seems silly because our problem is, like I said, I don't know. I mean, Justin could not be a superstar, like I think, but from what I've seen, it's not really his fault. Like, he looks like if we gave him some time and some weapons and defenses had to play him more honest, it wouldn't be so bad. You're all right. The Bears, not too much to talk about. Like you said, Justin sitting, our season's over. We're just going to be scoreboard watching. I might even just watch the fucking Texans game and be rooting for them the whole time, because the Bears with Peterman, and we're definitely going to lose the Vikings. No way we beat them.
Yeah, I don't think so, especially with Peterman throwing 4 interceptions. And like you said, I really might just watch the Texans Colts game. I mean, I'll switch off the Bears game too, just to see if what's going on with that. But there's a few interesting games next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I won't be watching the Bears.